Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Mindful Mayhem podcast. Before we get into this episode, wherever you are listening to us right now, we just want to preface that this is a deeper subject that we are getting into. We will be talking about some substance abuse, a little bit of grief and loss. So if that is not something that you are feeling that is matching your energy right now, we totally understand. We don't want to bring any negativity into your life at this very present moment, as this is a good episode. But if not, we do have next week.
And next week's episode, we do have our first special guest. So we are excited to share with you who that will be coming in the near future. But we hope you still want to tune in and enjoy this week's episode.
Yes, lots of great topics, and we do flip around. But if not, we completely understand, and we'll see you on the next one.
Hello.
And welcome to the Mindful Mayhem
Podcast.
I'm Kayla.
And it's Taylor.
And we are so happy to have you here with us.
Yes, we are.
Wherever you have us. Hello.
We're in your ear. So we've had a weekend.
The weekend was huge.
It's Monday morning, and Saturday and Sunday, we were two girls in the world.
Yeah. It is not often that me and Taylor both have the entire weekend off.
Yeah, and it was kind of like fun but dangerous, so we did. If you know, Kayla and I work only Friday, Saturday, Sunday right now. So literally don't even talk to me, don't look at me, and don't even ask. But then we usually work together on Saturday nights. But this weekend, we had ourselves a weekend. Can we just talk about that Levity pop-up show yesterday?
Yeah, the Levity pop-up show for Chicago was only for the people that were at the snow day.
But they did allow for ticket transfers, so those that didn't go were able to if they were able to find a ticket.
Yeah, but those of you who aren't in the Chicago EDM scene, in Chicago specifically, the reason why they did this pop-up for ticket holders is because one of our Chicago venues just had like a really big moment.
Poor experience
happened, and that's why they were so welcoming to
and understanding. So
to have another show.
Yeah, there was a bit of a trauma that happened, and so the show had to be cut early, and they gave everybody the opportunity to have the show again. And honestly, the first show only had like 30 minutes left, and they really gave back and let us have that 2.5 hour set yesterday. Sun was shining. Tank was clean.
Yeah. That was only like my second time on the Northerly Island section, but they didn't even have it at the pavilion area. They had it on like a sliver of cement.
Yeah. So if you went to Beyond Wonderland, it was where they had the Mad Hatter's Castle last year, which was pretty cool. It was like this cement slab.
I don't know. I can't wait to go to Beyond this year so I can know exactly what you're talking about.
I forgot that I'm not going this year. I forgot to tell Kayla, guys. It's the week I'll be in Europe.
Oh, no.
I know.
My heart is ripped out of my
head.
Shayla.
No Which sucks because I had the greatest idea for us, but like we'll save it for next year, so I'm not letting you guys know. I apologize. Love you. But I have to save this for Kayla and I. But yeah, so if you went to Beyond, that's where it's at. It was like kind of a safe haven because the ground was not mush, but then also when you weren't on the slab, mush. They actually had Oris who organized it. They also run the venue that unfortunately the tragedy had happened at. It wasn't a tragedy. Everyone I'm pretty sure is okay, but like the incident had happened at. And shout out to them because I guess originally they had the stage set up on one side and then they flipped it. So not only did we get this beautiful show, but we could see the whole skyline. Mm-hmm. City was shining. She was pretty.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool because also this show went from 1 to 5. So not only were we there full peak daytime. Today, Monday, it snowed this morning. So talk about Chicago weather. But yesterday it was still a little bit on the chilled side, but it was like a comfortable layer and you were vibing out.
Yeah, no, it was perfect. And that gave everyone a glimpse of what is to expect for
festival
this
season in Chicago is about to
I don't care what anyone has to say. Chicago is unmatched in the summertime. And our music scene and just nightlife, or maybe, okay, I won't. Not our nightlife scene.
Our nightlife scene is fun because we had a little Saturday night in it.
Yeah, we did.
We only say that because we used to work in the nightlife scene, and once you work in it, it's so different than when you go out in it. Like, I have friends that are like, oh my God, I freaking love this club. And I'm like, get me the heck out of here. Like, I don't want to be in the clubs anymore because I work in the clubs, and when I'm there, I feel like I'm at work.
Yeah.
On Saturday, we did have ourselves a little night. We hit the town. We were in a bar with a big ass disco ball, which was a moment and energy and aura in itself, but it was really cool.
The music there was fire.
We were all like, it was in a movie. Like, shout out. Kayla and I are like so funny because she has her friends outside of like me being her friend, but whenever I'm with them, I'm just like, oh, we all just fit together like the cutest little puzzle I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so I don't go out with them all the time, but when we do, we vibe. So shout out Alexandria, shout out Carter, shout out Xavier. We all were jamming in the club, vibing out. Oh, shout out Ryan, you were there as well. But we were really having a good time.
It's the way that you walked up. You guys, don't you love it when your friends walk up and are wearing and just fit the color scheme? And you're like, you didn't even have to tell them.
Dude, literally.
Like,
black and denim was the moment.
Get over it. Like, our whole squad was wearing black and denim.
Yeah.
It was perfect. So, yeah. So, okay. So with the levity thing, I like standing there yesterday, I just had this like nostalgic moment of like, us. We did plan this today.
If you don't know, we're like those friends that love to match.
We're talking about matching, let alone we're wearing the exact same thing.
And of course it's Grizz, but don't talk about it. Like, we already know.
We get it.
We get it. We're fans. Okay, whatever.
But no, I had this like nostalgic moment because Riley, again, shout out to her,
Shout out
but
Riley.
she was wearing this
yesterday.
And we just were called to wear it today.
And can we shout out Riley for yesterday and like all those people that were giving away their levity tickets for free, which they should have been. If you were charging, I don't want to talk to you, because literally it was like a mock show. Like, they were just giving it for the people. And it's so funny because Riley, we love you so much. But it always just works out. Like, someone posted giving away 3 tickets. Whoever comments first, like, you can have all 3. And I commented so fast, didn't even read the post. I was like, me. And then I read it and I was like, I only need 2. Please give the others to someone else. Like, I don't need the other one, like, vibing out. And so we were able to get our girly pop to come with. Yes, it was so fun.
Yeah. But I just remember having a moment of turning to her like, don't you just smell that?
The
like,
BO, the
BO,
weed in the air.
It's not even like the BO. It's just like something like about a festival scent.
Honestly, the air was crispy yesterday.
It was just so nice.
It was like the first day. Like, oh my gosh, Levity Boys, you really did the damn thing because you guys let us have a day. And honestly, the 1 to 5 stretch, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of liked it.
Yeah. We were all in bed cozy and wosy by 9 p.m.
I wasn't in bed by 9 p.m., but I was definitely at home cozy and posy, socks and
toesies.
Socks.
Socks and the toesies.
I didn't even mean to say socks. I meant to say my
because
slippers
your brain
were on.
wanted that. Your brain wanted it.
Yeah.
Don't fight it.
I'm not.
Socks on the toesies. Your brain wanted that. I just finished it for you.
That's so funny. But yeah, it was just like a fun take. And Kayla's saying the smells. I'm talking about the aura, the energy. Oh my gosh. If you were there, wow. Like, can we just talk about it? Like, Kayla's a fragrant girly. She loves the smells of the festivals. Very an acquired taste.
It's just not even like I walk around like sniffing things, bro. It's like I'm literally walking like, damn, you know you're at a festival.
Outdoor, like that crisp
dust
air.
Is flying. Marijuana.
Nostrils black, you know.
Yeah.
It does hit different. That wook fluid developing in your sinuses is a moment.
Yeah.
For me personally, it's so funny because literally like the energy, I know I just said like the aura, but I like to think that I'm one of those people that can see auras, not obviously to the full like, oh my gosh, I'm a psychic, I can see your aura, I can read your visions, but I feel like when people have this energy to them, I can see it and call me crazy. But yesterday when the crowd was bouncing, the boys were up on stage doing the damn thing, like I just saw this glow, this electric flow hovering over everybody, and it was just like, wow, like we're here. Mm-hmm. We are freaking here.
And that's like one of the most purest forms of happiness. And that's like, as much as I get out of my, because we get so caught in our day-to-day routines, and then especially coming off of like the seasonal depression, if you live somewhere cold in the winter, like the seasonal depression hits so hard that sometimes you forget like wow, this is why I live.
Yeah.
Is these outdoor things, beat bops that people just don't understand. And I literally once again turned to Riley and was like, imagine not listening to this music. Imagine not attending these things.
And that's the biggest thing I feel like we always cover is we cannot help that this is the genre that just called our name. Like this, oh my gosh, if I try to imagine, like pop culture could never.
I'm like, no offense to the Swifties, but bro, that's my highlight. Like, or
I don't want to go to the B96 Summer Bash, babe. I want to go to the electric. No, like I do want to go if it's the right people. I don't know why I said I don't, but like, hear me out. I don't want to go to the B96 Summer Bash. In quotes, I do want to go. Like, ignore me. B96, if you're listening, like, I would love to come. But I want to go not shower officially for 3 days and, like, camp out with my best friends and have a sleepover all weekend long and hear our favorite artists. You know what I mean? Like, it's just different. But there's just something about getting to go camping with your best friends for a weekend and just going off-grid, having the time of your lives, and just being able to meet your favorite artists. That's another thing. Like these people, at least for Electric Forest, as we've talked on before, or like mostly any festival, like they go as well. Mm-hmm. And like to walk through and just be like, oh my God, hey.
I
was at your set earlier.
Hey, you did really well.
You did a really good job.
Not too shabby.
10 out of 10. Would see again. Like, okay, for instance, at North Coast last year, I love Lizewo. They are on the frickin' up and up. If you have not heard Messy yet, go check it out because we know we're in our Messy era. Like, that song, slap, crackle, pop, whatever. But at North Coast, they were like one of the artists I was most excited to see. And I was walking through the crowd late in the evening and I saw them walk past me and I went up. I was like, oh my God, y'all ate. And they were just so nice, so genuine, such great people. Mm-hmm. I was just like, wow, this is the coolest thing ever. Because I feel like for one, they don't, at more of those mainstream pop concerts, for one, there's not a festival for it typically. Mm-hmm. But to know that the artists do just like want to be a part of it as well and wander and be involved is really cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a Lollapalooza and a Bonnaroo. It's like still though, but the different crowds that come.
But like you're not about to see Chapel Roan walking around Lollapalooza.
Yeah, no.
You know,
no
like
way.
It's different. I don't feel like the artists really wander like that there. Where in the EDM realm, it's so different because although they're these big heads, I mean, they're going to have those crazy mega fans that are like, holy shit, you're here. But then there's a lot of people that are just like, you're just like me. Mm-hmm. Like you're just here for the love of the music as well. So I really like that.
Yeah. No,
and Levity did that yesterday. They created the freaking vibes, man. They really gave us a little taste, like a nibble of summer in Chicago.
The summer Chicago, I just can't get over it. But yeah, just the festival, the plur, you know?
Yeah.
The PL.
You
Peace
are.
and love. I know. PL you are.
R.
RR.
Yeah.
Respect and responsibility. Be responsible. Yes. But yeah, just the crowd that it brings is just amazing. But I mean, that being also a day show versus night show though too, it's like that's also different energy
for real.
For like what people are bringing too.
I mean, yeah. Can we talk about how no hate, no shade, no anything towards people that were getting a little buck wild if you were. I honestly didn't see it. Like at the Levity show, it was like also it was a Sunday. So maybe everyone was taking it easy, taking a load off, but like respectfully. And I feel like it was really nice to see everyone kind of come together and not be off the shits. Yeah. As someone that's never really off the shits anymore, like I've had an era when I did, but like not as much now. No hate, no shame, no anything to people that do because I have friends that love to vibe out and do their own things. But it's like refreshing to go to a day show and have people just there for the music and then go home and have a nice chill Sunday night.
Make chicken Alfredo.
Literally.
Like literally what?
So you did?
No, but Rye did.
I just can't wait for summer. I think it developed a new respect for me I mean, I've never really been an overly big afters person. Like every now and again, I'll like sprinkle an after party in. But for the most part, I really like now like going to the main events and then laying low.
Okay, so yeah, you prefer like daytime. It's kind of hard to do the day to night switch. Well, festivals are different because the day to night switch is just, I mean, you have to. And the night switch, depending on if it's just a normal city festival, it ends at 10, 11 anyway. But if it's camping, you're out for the night anyway.
Like I would love if other artists took note of how this weekend went and we're able to incorporate it in more events this summer. If we could do not full-blown pop-up, like it doesn't have to be a pop-up. If it could be, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be free either. Like everyone get their bag, make your money, honey. But I would love to have the chance to do more of those just like midday moments and then could still have the rest of the night to vibe.
Yeah. I think that should be like a new thing entering this like soft girl era that we're all in right now.
Yeah, healthy
like,
girl era.
Healthy girls and mindfully
like skip
chaotic.
The gym. Skip the gym.
Sure.
Go dance instead.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, literally. You feel like you're kind of like tapping into your like soft girl era?
Oh, I've been in my soft girl era for sure. Like I'm trying to be more in my skincare routine. I mean, definitely since I stopped drinking and like, if you see me drink ever, no, you didn't.
I'm like,
we may have had a Saturday
we were just
night.
out Saturday night.
I don't drink often, but every now and again I'll sprinkle it in. Like I'm going on vacation again next week and I might have a Mai Tai or two. Whatever. But yeah, I think that as I've approached this more like majority sober lifestyle, that I've definitely like gained more of an appreciation for like the soft girlness, like taking my makeup off before bed, like wearing my matching PJ set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just being in my clean girl, but also like, you know what? Yeah, like I'm taking care of me now, not as much like gremlin. Don't get me wrong. I love a good gremlin moment when I'm at like a 4-day camping fest. But like when I'm at home, no.
I'm all for the bender. Now, what if off season, you know, it's like you're not like in betweener. You really haven't been like an in betweener where you're like all the time going crazy. But there's been moments we were having like a week or two bender of just like
yeah, like
another club, another
party
club.
bus, another club. Yeah. But it was also nice because we like worked within the nightlife community for a while there. So it was like we would go out and we would be drinking for free, basically. Like we would tip, don't get me wrong, but we were just like getting the homie hookup. So it was easy.
Yeah.
But then like the more you work in that industry and then later the nights become, the less you want to go to them in your free time. So definitely exited that era a little bit, but still love her. Love everybody that I met through it too. This is for you.
Yeah, nightlife made the big switch, honestly. Like being in nightlife and having like I had such a different situation with my nightlife situation because like I was dating somebody very in the nightlife and it was almost to the point where like how I am, you know, like me in my prone festival era, in my degenerate state, in my I'm just here, fuck it, we ball, like let me just live, is like he just didn't like it. He hated it. He didn't see any enjoyment with the festival culture. He always assumed that just because I listened to the music everywhere I was, even in the clubs, it's like I had to be on drugs or fucked up, which was not the case.
No.
And
same.
Then assumed my friends were like that too.
And I was like, no, I'm just one of those people that this is my energy and this is my aura. And I apologize that I'm a bit much at times, but like, that's just who I am.
And that's just how it should. It shouldn't be that way with the accusing, but it's how it should be that you are the same person. I mean, maybe a little enhanced, but you are the same person. Yeah. Like either way. But I feel like being in nightlife, like almost brought like you guys are doing things that are like overly fucking you up for no reason or like not doing it mindfully. And that was like, I feel like more nightlife is more like, you know, the nose drugs abuse. Yeah. Whereas like, why are you judging people that go to festivals that just want to like
go for the music, not always for the drugs? But I will say there is more of that switch happening lately. Like as the rave scene has grown, it's a shame because we've been a part of it for so long. Don't get me wrong. There has always been a substance problem there. Always. But it's the matter of how far are we going to take it? Like, are we going to keep going to our breaking point, to the edge? Like, are you even coming for the music anymore? Like, one of my biggest pet peeves, and I'm sure I was that at one point when I was in my rave baby era, but when I'm at a stage and someone looks at me and goes, oh my God, who even is this right now? And you can just tell they're off it. And it's like, babe, this is the headliner.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What time did you get here?
Like, don't get me wrong, not everybody means it maliciously, and like I don't mean to take it in that way by any means, but sometimes it's just like you're not even gonna, I think a big part of where I've found gratitude in the place I'm at now is knowing and remembering my whole experience and actually appreciating who I'm seeing and what they're providing and the production of everything. I think the more I want to get into the backgrounds of everything and see how the stages are built and see how it's developed and how the festivals are curated, the more I appreciate what goes into it and stand back watching it all happen. I'm like, wow, like that's cool. Like I'm taking note of that. Whoa, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I've always said like I want to see how a movie's produced, dude.
Yeah.
Like just being in the background of all of that. Like seeing something that you like really appreciate like all come together does bring this new sense of enjoyment to it.
But when it comes to substance abuse within the rave community right now, I think it's like hitting kind of it's a problem. Like the fentanyl thing.
There's TikToks going around that my mom sent me because she's only, you know, she's cautious of, you know, a parent. But
aware
I'm
of what
like, get off of social media because it are like people just throwing, they're saying that fentanyl is popping up in marijuana. But I texted her.
There was a time when it was in mushrooms.
Well, I texted her literally. I said, well, first things first, I said, is it from a dispensary or off the streets? Because if people are putting, like, you can't get fentanyl weed from a dispensary. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, that's just really hard for me to believe. So it's like, if you are buying it from a drug dealer, okay, let's think about this. People who are kind of coming to this soft girl era, this healing, like, ooh, more holistic way. Like, let's juice. Let's do our skincare. Let's be our body as a temple.
Drink. Yeah.
Let's not drink. Let's be California sober, whatever. Are also getting to realize, like, hey, those medications and people, like, that are on these opioids or things that they need for anxiety or whatever situation that it is, it's like, okay, well, that drug also causes all these other problems, you know, all the ads online. It's like, oh, well, this will help your blood pressure, but it'll cause death and brain aneurysms.
Like what?
Take it your own. It's like, what? You're allowing this stuff, but you're, you know, you can't even allow marijuana to be something that actually helps people. Now, here's my theory is like those people that,
well, marijuana kind of is now when the medical cards and stuff like that.
But they don't want, this is my theory though, of what my mom said. I was like, take it for somebody that probably is somebody that doesn't want to be seen in a dispensary. It's a social thing or it's too expensive or whatever. And they can't get prescribed something. They have an issue and they're resulting to getting whatever easy fix that they need. So that they're going to go to the streets. Okay, well, that's the risk that it is. But that is now where if like MDMA for PTSD, psilocybin, ayahuasca, like actual marijuana for people's like anxiety, there's different strains for that. Like if that was more brought to the table, there wouldn't be such an opioid epidemic. There wouldn't be such a fentanyl thing. There wouldn't be people that are dying from drug overdoses if there was like more of a open conversation of healthier ways to do different things.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that whole, it's all messed up. It's just so messed up.
I agree. And it's just like, even with the Adderall thing, like everybody's taking it. I feel like nowadays it doesn't even really take that much to get it. As someone with severe ADHD, I try my best to control it naturally, like on my own mentality. Even for instance, now, like as we've started doing the podcast, I've been telling myself like, oh, sit still, like listen, make sure you try not to interrupt, like because those are all things that my ADHD causes me to do naturally on accident. And so I could easily probably go to a doctor and be like, hey, like I have this problem, and they'll see it because it's there. And then their first thing is going to be 60 milligrams of extended release. And it's like 60 milligrams. I should probably start with 5 or something small. But like I've had friends that literally they went and like obviously you go to a psychiatrist and like it is like a mental evaluation, but sometimes it's not as heavy of an evaluation as it should be, because they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to give you like 2 30s that you take a day. Are they good for that? And then next thing you know, like especially with like Adderall, everybody gets so skinny and it's really unhealthy. And if you're not eating appropriately or taking it right, it can really mess with somebody and make their mental health even worse than the ADHD is.
Right. Exactly. And I mean, they say it's a chromosome away from meth.
I mean,
all these people are walking around on meth. Like, yeah, I mean, of course, we've all probably taken an Adderall when we needed to take a test or study all night.
Well, I was going to say, like, I try to avoid taking it. Like, there's been so many windows of opportunities where I've considered going and getting the whole psych eval done to like get it. But then I always question myself because it's like, do I want to feel that way? Like for me personally, and maybe those that have also taken it can also understand that it makes me a little bit mean, like crabby. And I don't like her. Like I like when I'm more in my bubbly, fun, like don't get me wrong, we all have our days, but I don't really like a certain characteristic that it brings out in me. I feel like I get very irritable when I take Adderall. And yeah, I do feel like I wish that it didn't make me feel that way. Because even when I was taking Concerta and it was from a doctor, like it made me kind of mean just because it was like morphing my personality a little bit.
Yeah, I can see
which happens
that
to a lot of people.
It happens to a lot of people, and that's the problem. It's like you're sitting here drowning a root thing with another root thing that you have to take another, and now is next thing you know you're taking 10 different pills.
Yeah.
And it's not even like a supplement, it's a pill.
Yeah.
It's a drug that is like suppressing things where it's like, no, how about let's just like go outside into nature and like ground and do the things that we were put on this earth with.
I will say a lot of people have been in their like shroom era.
Yeah. There's been more and more people coming about mushrooms that I've
like
been,
I'll be
like,
at the
learning.
bar at my job and someone will be like, haha, like I'm just on mushrooms, I'm not drinking. And I'm like, you're on mushrooms and you're here right now.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they're always like the nicest and the vibiest and like there's an energy. A lot of people are like done with drinking and doing that instead, which is kind of interesting. I don't mind it. I think that the people that are doing it are really, really sweet and kind and a vibe, to say the least. But it is crazy because that used to not be the social norm. I think even in our parents' generation, they kind of look at this current one and they're like, what do you mean that's what you're doing? That's weird. Why are you doing psychedelics to go out? Where in reality, it's not this like overly push, like, oh my gosh, I'm on this psychedelic awakening. Like it's for them just a body high that is still keeping you very alert and aware of what's going on around you, but doesn't fully make you intoxicated and like disassociated like drinking can.
That's what I never understood, because drinking is like literally suppressing you completely, like a altered, not even an altered state of consciousness, how a psychedelic can do, but like a literal, like you're unconscious. You can get to the point of unconscious. You're just like not there. Yeah. But like I never understood, and I say this all the time. I'm like, where from the 60s and 70s till now? Like what the hell mindset shift? Because it's all of those people that came out from those eras that then raised the people that raise us, and it's like, well, why are we looked down on so much? But because of this whole new wave of mental health, like I feel like obviously after the pandemic and then whatever the hell last year was, like 2024 was fucked up for a lot of people. Yeah, like we feel you out there, but there was this new fresh energy of like, oh, okay, you know, like it's okay to feel my emotions. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to give somebody a hug without feeling awkward about it. It's okay to like extend that open arm to others and like maybe look into some holistic ways of healing myself and not just succumbing to everything that's shoved down our throats.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that also just goes for everybody in general. Like, I don't know, how do you feel? Like, do you feel like people are coming out of like their little shells and wanting to be more vulnerable?
I feel like overall within the new generation, there is just like a different light that everyone's kind of shining onto the world. More of a natural beauty is prettier than overly glammed, and it's okay to do natural substances rather than ones that are toxic and man-made, you know, like there is just a new light and a new perspective that's been entering the world for a while now. And I personally don't mind it. I'm not a hater. I think that it's okay to change. And even though it's scary, it can bring a lot of cool new opportunity. And especially with the whole, mushroom subject, it's kind of refreshing hearing people talk about their experiences with that rather than drinking. Yes, occasionally I'll have a cocktail, like I said, but I'm really not one that does that. And honestly, I'm sober a lot. Like I go out to concerts and I'll just have water the whole time. Like occasionally a dibble dabble or whatever. But it's just like, it's refreshing to know that people are not requiring themselves to get to a level of disassociation in order to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to remember your experience. It's okay to live in the now. It's okay to look at your friends and just like be like appreciative of them being there without it being sloppy. Because it's also scary, like the whole fentanyl thing. It's also just scary to like do anything because people are dying from it.
People are dying from it. We witnessed a couple of different things that have happened. Like we witnessed almost someone ODing at a show just not too long ago.
Yeah, like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary. Like, I think that everybody should know how to administer Narcan. That is my biggest takeaway from this whole episode. If there's anything that our listeners, I mean, other than like my parents that probably won't ever be at a concert where this is natural for you, but like for those that genuinely go to raves and go to concerts, please find a way to learn to administer it. It is an easy class, not even a class. Like, I went to the End Overdose event and had them teach me. I've never used it, but I know how to do it because in today's generation, it's just scary how many people are affected by these things. Like, I hear these stories on TikTok and through other social media platforms of people that are really losing their friends and important people in their lives due to the drug problem that there is right now within our community. And so I just think it's really important that everybody knows how to take the steps to prevent it, because even if there is an opportunity, like say someone is going down and you're the only one that knows how to do it, like give yourself that pat on the back for being the one that can save them rather than being the one that doesn't know what's going on.
And I don't know if you guys tuned into this last episode that we did, but I had asked Taylor like worst and best festival moments, and we did bring up and start to bring up the conversation of like right and wrong ways to do them. And also just really quick too, we've been just so excited to have this platform because we've been lucky enough to be a part of this community and be so welcomed within it and know and be around and have experienced loss and grief around substances. And the purpose of this show is to not only talk about the fun festivals that are going on, but to also touch on this subject, because I feel like it's such a gray area that's overlooked, where it's like it's either one extreme to the other, and there's not like a middle ground. Like you'll meet people where it's like, oh, it's just like the peace, love, unity, respect. You give a candy, you sprout them or whatever, but then like you'll meet, or I'll have conversations and meet random people that like now I know like why they're here. I'm like, you came all the way from where by yourself, or you just lost your job and you scraped the last $300 you have and you have zero now to come here. Yeah. Like you meet those kinds of people that just have like these stories that are just like drawn to you, but also like that are almost like living in these moments for someone else because they lost someone.
Yeah. I mean, Kayla and I both personally have experienced our own losses through friends, through really important people that we've had the opportunities of knowing in this life. And I think that to kind of give an overall branch on what our Mindful Mayhem project is, it's to share knowledge and share community and be a community and just overall give people the opportunity to know that you can go have fun and be crazy, but that this is a safe space for you to share your stories, share your tales, but then also learn and be aware of what you can do to prevent. And I think a big part of our project is to touch on the scary stuff, hammer in the nail when it comes to having fun, but mindfully, Mm-hmm. And so not only do we want to eventually interview your favorite artists and share their stories, but we want to share our own. And this is a part of our story, is the people we've lost, putting us in the position to now give a voice that they don't have anymore.
In the year of 2018 alone, there was like 7 people back to back. And then in 2019, another one of our friends right after that. Yeah.
And it's also about where we're from. Like Kayla and I came from very similar. I feel like we grew up pretty similarly when it comes to like, honestly, how we were in high school. Granted, like your path changed a little bit, but like the difference between, I don't know if everybody can relate, but like in my high school, people were kind of like dabbling. I don't know why I keep saying dabble. People were kind of sprinkling in some substance use within certain groups, and ours were different. Yours was very much downer, opioid, and mine was like uppers, like people doing like damn near crack, which is scary. Neither should have been done. Mm-hmm. Let's just acknowledge that. Like, none of that is necessary, especially at such a young age. It's kind of scary that it was so normal. Mm-hmm. But It's definitely crazy the difference between what each of our communities was doing, but like how similar we are now and how it brought us together.
Well, how me and Taylor even know each other, just like the little backstory of us, because we never even explained, but our ex-boyfriends were friends. We were never in the same friend group by any means, but I like just knew who she was and she knew who I was because of that. But my ex-boyfriend at the time, he is the one that introduced me to this life. He introduced me to, he was the first person I smoked weed with. I lost my virginity to. I like literally did my first drug with, festival, all of it. And that's why I have I'm healed. I by no means, like for anybody that I date next.
She's okay.
I'm fine.
Trust. This is also a long time ago.
A very long time ago, but it set the mood for who I am today. And that's something that's important and what's a part of me and who I am in the rave community as well. And like what he has introduced me to. And he unfortunately did pass in the year of 2018. He was one of the second or third one actually in the group that year. And then unfortunately 2 months later, then his brother passed too. Which now these were different situations to where it wasn't, I personally think now after reflecting and grieving about it, it was intentional, and that brings a different heaviness to it because that's a whole different subject when you just don't feel like. That's also to the extent of like some people just aren't meant to live long, and that's just like the stamp that they put on in that sense. And
it always is those people that do have that great like electric personality that are the ones that it seems are unfortunately gone too soon.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Anybody that knew him, like, just knows. But some people do look at him like we were the druggies in high school. You know, like the people that I hung out with in high school were not the people, like, I by no means was the popular one, and I by no means was the loser either. But, like, I more so kind of fit into the loser category. But at the same time, I was also an athlete, too. So it was, like, this athlete that, like, didn't carry on with her athletics afterwards. It was just, like, I had two different black and white personalities. But for one, being at the age that I was and not even being able to process like how someone is using pills against you, it's like I didn't even know what a Xanax was or an opioid or anything, like, and people are, my boyfriends, just taking them just left and right, and that was just the normal. But going into like now and into like this more mature side of raving, it's just like I wish I could have stopped it in a way. I wish I would have been more in tune with what it, but also
you can't, everything happens for a reason, and it's so shitty to say that, especially when it regards to loss. But I am a firm believer that although it hurts so bad, like some of those things are just like it's a part of their story. Like they are one of the good ones that had to go early because the world was too cruel for them in a sense. Like I know with his case in particular, like it's kind of a question on if it was like self-inflicted or not, and like with things like that, it's like their personal choice. I mean, with my person that I lost, it was very interesting because it came off as like also self-inflicted in a sense. Like no one knew it had happened really, or like that what they were fighting internally on their own, which kind of sucks. But I really do believe that like the good do die young, and especially when it's someone that kind of carries the light within a community. Like my friend that had passed, it's like when he was gone, all of a sudden, like our friend group wasn't really the same without him. And so everybody kind of went their own ways. And don't get me wrong, I still love them all so much and I'm appreciative to have the memories I do with them. But I feel like he brought a different light to our group, and we kind of needed it to keep going.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing about also just like pulling. Oh my gosh, you guys, I totally forgot. I have like a gift, not to like completely switch it up, but the whole purpose of this episode that I totally forgot about. I have a gift for Taylor right now. 1 second.
What the heck?
What the helly? All right, this is not sponsored by Target, but we have a Target bag.
Ignore the bag. Stop! Not the iridescent.
Well, then I have another one.
Okay, a little cheers for the people.
Cheers. Oh.
Stop.
Cute, right?
I'm obsessed. These are so cute. Okay, so for those that are just listening, Kayla just pulled out 2 super cutesy girly pop mugs. Well, like not girly pop. Purple is for whoever loves it. But one is iridescent and it says trust the process. And then the other one is checkered and white.
White and purple.
I don't know why I hesitated, but Cute.
Yes, the whole purpose of this was in the trust the process thing. And I think that this is a really good moment to bring it in because honestly, like, I feel like after Taylor's giving a view of my mugs on the cam. But yeah, I mean, like the theme of life right now in general is like trust the process.
Yeah.
And like by no means is like grief like, oh, you just need to trust the process as to why you like lost this person. But at the same time, it kind of is.
Find
and,
the
like,
understanding.
Life is just, it's not fair in general. And like, if you can see the light out of them, out of the things that do happen, that is like the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, I agree. And it is like, to kind of table off of the trust the process stuff, like we really are in our era of doing that, I think. I mean, me personally, I feel like I'm trying.
I want to come back to that. I actually have a question for you to give them, but just to finish off kind of what we were saying really quick is
we're by no means condoning substance use or hating those that are doing so. Like, it is your life, live your truth, do what you want to do. But we want to make sure that this is a safe space for those that need someone to talk to, or maybe you're going through something and you just don't feel like you have a place. Like, this is your community and this is your space of safety and understanding and just overall, like, we get it. We've been there. We've done that. We also have friends that are in it still. Like, this is a judge-free zone. So if you see us out and you're like, wow, I can relate to you so much and I love listening to you and I want to hear from you, like, we're here. DMs are open. If you see us in public, say hi, talk to us. But this is like a safe space for those that feel like they don't fit in or that you do fit in. And it's just,
I always say it's the community for those that need one. And I stretch that across all of my things. And it's the live and let live process. It's the stretch your hand out the community. It's the like, let's, you know, like, let's all spread it and like be there for one another and connect. But with like going through the grief of the drug thing and being around them and still using them still though too, like, there's no guilt behind them if you still want to use them. That's also kind of like what I wanted to touch, because I had a friend that almost like had no choice but to like cut them completely out because of everything that we went through. And that's perfectly great. Now, in a way, like, I sometimes, like, how going back to the whole there's a right and wrong way to do mushrooms or a psychedelic, it's like in those ways of, you know, being treated and using them to heal and being in the right mindset and coming out of it as like, you know what, I am a better person now. I actually I'm coming with like closure after that, or like now I know that they're at peace and things are fine. That's like the mindful way. That is the mindful stamp of doing and being in like in just the community, or being the person like that. Just, and you don't even have to be in the EDM rave scene to like do that too, because like we said, we see it so much now with people just in our day-to-day on the street, going in the nightclubs and everything, or just sitting at the park, you know. And now that we are stepping into this summertime and whatever, like, purely with my whole heart shed the message that there are different ways to heal. There are different ways to learn about yourself, and there's different ways to be there for other people. It's just sometimes you need to just allow yourself to get there and be vulnerable and like let yourself
go. Like, it's okay. It's okay to cry too.
Yeah.
I don't know why that made me feel like I needed to say that. So random. I'm quiet for so long. It's okay to cry. But it is also like, if that's a part of your healing, then it is.
So what do you feel like in your life right now is something that you want to trust the process more in, or like want to give advice to somebody that is feeling like they can't get themselves to trust the process?
So I feel like for me personally, my trust the process moment right now is, I'm a little bit older. Like, I'm 27. I was still in college because I've been dragging it out because it doesn't feel like me, you know? Some people are made for that. I've just never felt like that's my path, even though that's like the social standard. More recently, since diving into the rave culture of the backgrounds of things and giving myself the opportunity to do more rave fashion content and fall in love with a different part of this community, I took it upon myself to take a semester off of school, and I dedicated to content creation. And I want to be a content creator. I think that is my purpose and my being. And I love it. Like, I love being able to talk to people. I love that I've had it happen already, like that someone has recognized me, and it was really cool because we were able to talk on this personal level. And it was like, oh my gosh, like I felt purpose in what I was doing, having that happen. And so I took it upon myself to stop doing school and give myself a goal that if by the end of summer I can really grow and evolve as a person and see the change that I hope for myself and do something that I love as my career, then I'm going to put myself out there and do it. Now, if that doesn't work out, I do have a backup plan, but this is my trust the process right now, is believing in myself, believing that I can do content creation full time. And maybe it won't always be the rave niche. Like, I love it right now. It is really such a core part of who I am, but I do have this life outside of it that's really fun and cool and exciting, and that I would love to dip my toes in. The more comfortable I get talking on camera when in more of selfie mode than a podcast. But I really, really want to trust my process with evolving into the person I feel that I'm meant to be, and allowing myself to shoot my shot at doing what I love and making it a career. What's yours?
Oh, mine. Well, as you know, I don't know. I feel like right now mine's more of like a calling. I feel like my trust my process is just making sure that I'm confident in what my process is, I suppose, because in the past couple months, in the past year, I have dealt with quite an emotional pull on my entire life, just with my home situation, my family situation, and then just me being a single Pringle for the past almost 2 years now. Like, that's crazy.
That's crazy. It's already been that long.
I know. I've been just a single Pringle walking
But that's
the earth.
okay. I think that it's been good.
It's developed me into, like, literally
the greatest version of yourself.
So, like, when you ask me what's something that I am trusting in the process, like, I listen to Jesus Christ. I listen to the universe. I listen to literal every sign that I'm the most spiritually connected, you know, in my own being, you know. But I guess my purpose now and what I've been called to do, and I feel like sometimes I'm kind of annoying to talk to because it's the only thing I can say is like, what are you going through? Oh, well, why don't we just, like, you know, like, just let it happen, you know? But
go
like,
with the flow.
Go with the flow. But, like, if you knew me 5 years ago, I was not go with the flow.
Kayla is very much, I want to give her major credits to her flow and it going, because it used to be very, like, I'm pretty go with the flow. Like, I like to have a structured plan, but it's like, whatever happens, happens. Like, I've learned to not always be able to control what's happening around me or what's going on. Where Kayla is very, I think the mom in her is like, we need to have a plan. We need to know what's happening next. Like, I need to have the structure. Mm-hmm. And more recently, you've definitely let go and been like, you know what? I'm just going to trust the process and let it happen the way it's supposed to, and know that I can't always have control of the outcome.
And it's been freaking so good. Like, I've never been more at peace, like, in my own mind. And I think that now my message and, like, my calling is just to, like, spread that and inform other people about it, like you,
and show people how they can do
my other friends, and, like, show them just, like, hey, like, let's breathe. And even in my daughter, like, I feel like it's showing, like, now, and just, like, being more open and allowing her to feel in her feelings. But sometimes that gets me in trouble. But we're all opening up to new opportunities and new ways, but only when we allow life to happen how it goes. Because if not, and you are taking too much of the control, like, yeah, okay, it might go your way for a little bit, but either way, one way or another, life is going to figure out a way to rip you from it if it's not meant for you.
Yeah, I also do think, like, heavy emphasis on the fact that, yes, there's a lot of things that we can control, but I kind of am becoming more of a believer that our paths are sort of made already, and how they develop is, there are some things that we can change and shift in, like, full 180, but some of it's just meant to happen the way it is. Mm-hmm. And although it may seem like the big inconveniences and stuff like that in the moment, like, there really are moments that you just got to accept what's going on, and it's okay to accept it. It's okay to be scared of it. It's okay to be overly excited about it. Like, it's okay to just let it happen.
Yeah. Should we end off on that beautiful note right there?
I love that note.
Should we cheers with our non-filled cups?
On the mic. I'm sorry.
Bless you on the freaking. Okay.
On the frig.
First of all, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Mindful Mayhem. Before we let off, we want to toast.
We want to toast.
Who wants to lead the toast today?
Half and half?
Okay, go ahead.
I want to cheers to you, our listeners, to you, Kayla, and to me, because we really are in this evolutionary stage in our lives that you guys are trusting us with this project and giving us a voice, which is freaking sick. But then also, like, we're putting ourselves out there and stepping out of our comfort zones to make our dreams come true. So cheers to that. And yours? Go, go, go.
Cheers. I feel like it's bad luck to not have anything in here.
It's okay.
Okay. No, it's not. Erase the juju. Yes. Cheers to going into the rest of this year as a more at peace version of ourselves with allowing things to go through, and cheersing to, yes, those of you who are capable of listening to us because we are an acquired taste and we love each other just as much as we love you guys that love us, and vice versa. It's all a big love, and we're cheersing to more people coming and joining our community. And this is a community for those who need one, and that's exactly what we opened it up for. And yeah, you said it pretty good, so I have nothing else to say. Cheers to all of that.
And on a final note, I do want to say a big shout out to Levity and them for creating such a great energy this weekend. I hope you guys lead the pack on what is next to come for the community, because that was really freaking cool. And I hope more artists do similar things as well. So thanks to everybody that came. Thank you all for tuning in. This was this week's episode of
Mindful Mayhem.
We'll see you later.
Toodles. I love me a man in a hoodie and some painted nails. Okay, end scene.